I think that nationalism is effectively dead in many countries. There are a few exceptions. Obviously in Ukraine, Russian aggression has galvanized people against an outsider. But many Western nations are highly divided. People find it very hard to identify with one another. People live in different realities, they have different values, they have different understandings of the world, totally contradictory interpretations of current events. Nationalism is dead. And I am not speaking about extreme aggressive nationalism, I am speaking about regular old nationalism. Shared identity and narratives, unity and belonging to a nation. The nation is weak or even non-existent. I think modern media is one of the core causes of this. Benedict Anderson famously identified that nations and national identities began to emerge after the printing press. Mass newspapers appeared, people began reading the same news and stories. From this was born the shared identity and common narrative that defines the nation. Before the printing press, people had groups they identified with, but they were far more fragmented and local, they were nowhere near as grand in nature. Consumption of common media is the glue that holds the nation together. It allows people to exist within the same world and narrative. It allows people to form similar views and values. It allows people to place themselves within the same story and struggle. It allows people to relate to each other and identify with one another. But consumption of common media is pretty much dead. There is so much media out there that everyone is living in their own world. A lot of media is totally contradictory. People live in alternative realities. Look at the big issues. The Ukraine war, the Israel-Gaza war, the COVID pandemic, the US elections. People are living in totally different realities. It is not a matter of mere disagreement, people have totally different sets of facts. People exist within totally different narratives to one another. People live in contradictory realities that share basically nothing in common. And this is the death of nationalism. A sense of nationhood was born out of consumption of common media. But that foundation is dying. Some may argue that it is already dead. Obviously, some politicians and movements claim to be nationalistic, but often in pursuit of objectives that are horrible for their nation. But by and large, the kind of nationalism that was once a very powerful force is dead in most Western countries. People struggle to identify with one another, people are divided, people live in different realities. And modern media is to blame. And I don't see this changing anytime soon. Such things can only really be changed by a highly authoritarian government, which would itself be a much larger problem. But this unravelling of the nation is a serious issue that has major political implications for many countries. How long can we go on divided like this? Or do we need politicians who create new narratives that unify people once again? The future is incredibly uncertain and volatile. But perhaps national narratives can be part of the solution to that. Or perhaps it is simply too late for such things to be viable in modern media environments. Perhaps it is time for nationalism to be reinvented, or even overhauled entirely.